Many people told me that there is a God, and if you look for Him, you'll find Him. As a child, I looked for Him in the sky, thinking one day He would come out of the clouds. But I could not find Him. As I grew a little older, I began to look for Him in Sunday school and Bible classes. My teacher told me that if I was a good boy, God would bless me and I would meet Him. I put on nice clothes and I went to school and Bible class regularly, trying to be good like my teacher had requested. However, I noticed that neither he nor I seemed to have found God. Later they told me, if you really want to know God, you must join the choir, be baptized, and give a weekly tithe. How happy I was to get better instructions. However, after doing these things, I noticed that none of those who encouraged me in these ways actually seemed to have met God. As I grew older, the association with my peers and the basis of my understanding became more variegated. My peers laughed at me and some said, if you really want to know God, you must join another church. Others said, you will find Him in the mosque. A closer friend said, no, He is really with the Baha'is. I visited these centers often, but I did not find God, nor find others who had found Him. After I went to college, my quest for God slowed considerably. Close friends, seeing my emptiness, told me, the problem is you have the wrong conception. Only children and childish people think of God as a person. God is mind, all energy. You can find Him in the metaphysical schools. I joined many of them. However, I only found people trying to psych each other out. I wondered, was thinking that God could be discovered a symptom of some psychological disturbance? One advanced friend told me one day, you know why you have not found God? He laughed, because He is you. He began to tell me how I was God. But he did not stop there. He explained how he was God too, and actually how everyone was God. He was completely serious. When he told me that as soon as he got over his headache, perhaps by tomorrow, he would give me more explanation of how we're all God, I was eager to depart from him, thinking that he had more than a headache. How could God suffer any discomfort or illness? How could I, as God, have forgotten who I am? Again, I could appreciate that neither he nor I were God, nor had we really found him. I was all ready to give up in this search when a female New Ager informed me that the fastest and shortest way to find God was through the sublime union of the male and female energy, through perfect sexual exchange. It did not take me long to see that of all these pretenders, this was one of the greatest, for neither I nor she seemed to have the slightest idea of where to find God. All else had failed, and seemingly so had I. One close well-wisher tried to encourage me by explaining that the mystery of God consciousness was revealed through the proper drug experience. He explained that on reaching the proper altered state of consciousness, one would behold God in his full splendor. As I was half mad by now, I thought the drug experience surely could do no harm. But to my disgust, I watched as my intoxicated friend began to feel and talk as if he were God, trying to describe what he was experiencing to me. He was not even aware that he had knocked his remaining supply of drugs on the floor. I thought to myself, why does God need to take drugs to know himself? If the drug gives him God consciousness, then the drug is God. It is more powerful than he himself. I realized that both he and the drug were distractions, as surely neither could be God. How I had given up. I had tried every technique and so many experiences, but I could not find God, nor could I find anyone who had found him. But one day, I met a pure devotee of the Lord. I asked him, "Do you know God?" He replied, "Who am I to know God?" He explained to me how he only knew his spiritual master and the sadhus. He said his guru had told him to always serve the devotees, to study the revealed scriptures scrutinizingly, and to share with any and everyone little knowledge that he had. He explained how he made these instructions his life and soul, and said that whenever he thinks of his guru, his instructions, his heart becomes overwhelmed with great love. He told me that he personally does not feel that he is qualified to meet the Lord, but that he had given his life to serve the Lord's devotees. His sincerity brought tears to my eyes. I embraced him and noticed that he was in tears too. He felt my desperation in wanting to know God, and I felt his great compassion. In a choked up voice, I said, "Let me serve the devotees with you. Let us penetrate all coverings, diving deeper and deeper into higher consciousness, preparing ourselves to meet that glorious Lord. Today, I have met a true devotee of my worshipful Lord. Now I can stop searching around, and I can search within for a true partner. Only the Lord himself could have sent me such a partner. Therefore, I am sure he is arranging for me to meet him soon, although I am a lowly beggar."
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Bhutta Srimati Bhakti Swami Namaste Krishna Padaya Puripada Chaitanya Shaiva Karana Shakti Bhakti 𝐶𝐚𝐤𝐬 Namo Vishnu Hare Krishna Prasad Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pucharana Yarvisesa Sriyavadi Prasatadi Satare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Stay Gaita Vedadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Very happy to be with all of you. And I'm sorry again for the delay.
Estoy muy feliz de estar con todos ustedes hoy y perdonen nuevamente por el retraso.
So we're looking at this beautiful meditation, 𝐶𝐻𝐻.
Entonces estamos viendo esta hermosa meditación número 30.
So here, if you look at it very carefully, you will see that we have been searching for God, and the search has taken us from a neophyte stage to the stage of meeting devotional service, meeting devotees of Krishna.
Entonces podemos ver en esta meditación, vemos el paso a paso en la búsqueda desde un devoto neófito hasta encontrar a Krishna y a los devotos de Krishna.
We will also notice that all the different stages we have passed through, we were all speculative, from speculators, from people who are themselves very miserable and does not know what they were doing themselves.
Y también podemos notar de que en todas estas etapas previas podemos ver la clase de especulación mental y de los especuladores que no tenían un conocimiento y no tenían un conocimiento profundo de lo que era conocer a Dios.
And the most interesting thing is that as we continue to search and search and search, we are getting experience which eventually led us to meeting Krishna.
Y a medida que vamos buscando y atravesando esa búsqueda paso a paso, vamos a llegar hasta el punto de encontrarnos con Krishna. Todas esas etapas nos han dado una experiencia para llegar al momento de encontrarnos con Krishna.
There has been very, very interesting question which no Christian can answer.
Hay algunas preguntas muy interesantes que ningún cristiano puede responder.
In the Bible, it is said that God created heaven and the earth.
En la Biblia se explica que Dios creó el cielo y la tierra.
We all know that to build a house, you must be staying somewhere else while you are constructing a house before you move in.
Todos sabemos que para poder construir una casa, uno tiene que estar fuera de esa construcción, de ese lugar para construirlo.
So, where was God staying while he was creating heaven and the earth?
Entonces, ¿dónde estaba Dios cuando estaba creando los cielos y la tierra?
No Christians have answer for that.
Ningún cristiano tiene una respuesta para eso.
And one foolish pastor, one foolish one among all the fools, the most foolish one, the most foolish one, he was attempting to answer the question and he made a fool out of himself.
Y entre muchos tontos había un pastor que intentó tontamente responder a esa pregunta de una forma muy tonta.
So he said, he said out of his own foolishness, he said, okay, God is not in the heaven while he was creating, God is not on the earth planet while he was creating. And then God must be living in, God must be sound. God must be sound, sound, sound.
Entonces Dios no estaba en el cielo cuando se estaba creando, ni Dios estaba en la tierra cuando se estaba creando. Entonces Dios este pastor dio la respuesta tonta de que Dios debe ser sonido.
All Hare Krishna devotees, we know that God is not only the sound, He's not only the sound, He is everything which He created, both material and spiritual. He is everything. So he cannot be only the sound, because that is not the only thing He created. He must be other things as well, which is also speculative.
Entonces, como devotos de Krishna, nosotros entendemos que Dios no solo es sonido, sino que también tiene forma y otras cosas. Y Él creó el mundo espiritual y el mundo material también.
Some other people as will come and say, God is not sound, God is light.
Hay otros que llegan a decir que Dios no es sonido, sino que Dios es luz.
Yes, it is true, because He is what? Krishna said, I'm the source of Brahman. I'm the source of Brahman. So He's light. He is the source of sound. Yes, He's everything. But actually, who is this person God? That is the prerogative of the devotees of Krishna only.
Entonces sí, Krishna explica en el Bhagavad Gita que yo soy la fuente del Brahman y esa es la luz. Entonces Dios es el origen y es el sonido, es el origen de la luz y es la luz. Pero ¿quién realmente es Dios? Esta prerrogativa solo le pertenece a los devotos de Krishna.
Which is confirmed by Lord Brahma in his Brahma Samhita.
Lo cual es confirmado por el señor Brahma en el Brahma Samhita.
Lord Brahma described Lord Krishna quality in chapter 5 of Brahma Samhita. He described Krishna completely. And then the last thing that Lord Brahma said, Lord Krishna stays in ଶ୍ୱetadvipa. And this place is known to very few self-realized souls. Very, very few people, not majority, only few people knows this.
Entonces el señor Brahma da una descripción del señor Krishna en su Brahma Samhita, en el capítulo 5, y hace diferentes descripciones, pero en uno de sus últimos versos explica que el señor reside en ଶ୍ୱetadvipa y ese lugar es conocido solo por algunas raras personas, muy, muy raras, muy, muy pocas personas en este mundo.
Another person will say, yeah, God is everywhere. And you yourself, you are God. God is everywhere. You yourself, you are God.
Y otras personas llegan a decir que Dios está en todos lados. Es más, incluso tú eres Dios.
Yes, we are God because we are all parts and parcels of Krishna. But we cannot be the supreme God.
Sí, es cierto, todos somos Dios debido a que tenemos cualidades y somos una porción y parte del Señor Krishna, pero nadie puede ser el Dios supremo.
If we are the supreme God, why will we take shelter of Krishna's energies? Why will we take shelter of Krishna's energies? Why will we take shelter of, why do we come under the influence of our own energies? Why?
Si todos somos Dios, entonces, ¿por qué nosotros debemos refugiarnos en una energía de Krishna? ¿Por qué si somos Dios estamos bajo el control de una de esas energías?
Anything which controls us must be superior to us.
Cualquier cosa que nos controla debe ser superior a nosotros.
So if we are under the illusion which controls us, we are under the influence of drugs which controls us, means illusion or drugs are superior to us.
Entonces estamos bajo bajo el control de la ilusión. Entonces significa de que la ilusión nos controla, es más poderosa que nosotros.
So the search for God and to understand God is a very, very complex thing, very complex.
Entonces la búsqueda y el encuentro y el saber de Dios es una búsqueda muy complicada.
So complex that only if one is very, very fortunate to have the mercy of Krishna, that will be able to meet with Krishna's devotee that will show us the way.
Y solamente es tan complicado que solamente si tenemos la misericordia de Krishna, que nos va a dar la asociación de los devotos por los cuales vamos a poder encontrar el camino. Ellos nos van a mostrar el camino.
Gurudev mentioned here, now I had given up. I had tried every technique and so many experiences, but I could not find God, nor could I find anyone who had found it. But one day, I met a pure devotee of the Lord. I asked him, "Do you know God?" He replied, "Who am I to know God?" That is what Krishnadas 𝐶𝐬𝐬𝐲𝐿 told Tirtha. Brahmanta Brahmite Kolna Bhagya one Jiva. Bhagya one Jiva. When one wanders from planet to planet, to species, one becomes fortunate. Only when one becomes fortunate in our search for God, to know God, in our search for knowing God, when one becomes fortunate, then Guru Krishna Prasade will have the mercy of Guru and Krishna.
Entonces, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj en uno de sus párrafos dice: ahora me había rendido, probé todas las técnicas y tantas experiencias tuve, pero no pude encontrar a Dios, ni pude encontrar a nadie que lo hubiera encontrado. Pero un día conocí a un devoto puro del Señor. Le pregunté: ¿conoces a Dios? Él respondió: ¿quién soy yo para conocer a Dios? Y entonces Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, él explica en el Chaitanya Charitamrita que uno deambula por el universo hasta que es muy afortunado y ya que encuentra al maestro espiritual, y de esa forma él puede regresar a Dios.
To meet with a pure devotee of Krishna is a great fortune.
Encontrarse con un devoto puro de Krishna es una gran fortuna.
We see that right from the beginning of childhood, searching for God to this point, there have not been any positive result, any positive answer, no solution, until this point when one meets with a pure devotee.
Entonces podemos ver aquí en la vida de Maharaj, desde su niñez, él estaba tratando de encontrar a Dios y ha pasado por todas estas experiencias sin ningún resultado positivo hasta que se encontró con un devoto puro de Dios.
He explained to me how he only knew his spiritual master and the sadhus. He said his guru had told him to always serve the devotees, to study the revealed scriptures scrutinizingly, and to share with everyone the little knowledge that he had. He explained how he met these instructions, his life and soul, and said that whenever he thinks of his guru and his instructions, his heart becomes overwhelmed with great love. He told me that he personally does not feel that he is qualified to meet the Lord, but that he had given his life to serve the Lord's devotees. His sincerity brought tears to my eyes. I embraced him and noticed that he was in tears too. He felt very desperation. He felt my desperation in wanting to know God. And I felt his great compassion in his choked voice. I said, let me serve the devotees with love. Let us penetrate all coverings, diving deeper into higher consciousness, preparing ourselves to meet that glorious Lord. Today, I have met a pure devotee of my worshiping Lord. Now I can stop searching around, yes, and can search within what the true partner. Only the Lord himself could have sent me such a partner. Therefore, I'm sure he's arranging for me to meet him soon, although I'm the lowly beggar.
Entonces Maharaj continúa diciendo, este maestro espiritual me explicó que solo conocía a su maestro espiritual y a los sadhus. Dijo que su guru le había dicho que siempre sirviera a los devotos, que estudiara minuciosamente las escrituras reveladas y que compartiera con todos el poco conocimiento que tenía. Explicó cómo hizo de estas instrucciones su vida y alma, y dijo que cada vez que piensa en su guru y sus instrucciones, su corazón se llena de gran amor. Me dijo que personalmente no se siente calificado para encontrarse con el Señor, pero que ha dado su vida para servir a los devotos del Señor. Su sinceridad trajo lágrimas a mis ojos. Lo abracé y noté que él también estaba llorando. Él sintió mi desesperación por querer conocer a Dios, y yo sentí su gran compasión. Con voz entrecortada dije, déjame servir a los devotos contigo. Permítenos penetrar todas las coberturas, sumergiéndonos más y más profundamente en la conciencia superior, preparándonos para encontrarnos con ese glorioso Señor. Hoy he conocido a un verdadero devoto de mi adorable Señor. Ahora puedo dejar de buscar y puedo buscar dentro con un verdadero compañero. Solo el Señor mismo podría haberme enviado tal compañero. Por lo tanto, estoy seguro de que Él está haciendo arreglos para que yo me encuentre con Él pronto, aunque solo soy un humilde mendigo.
So, by the mercy of a pure devotee, we can be able to understand who we are. We can understand who Krishna is. We can understand what is the transcendental relationship we have with the Supreme Lord.
Entonces, por la misericordia de un devoto puro, podemos entender quiénes somos, podemos entender quién es Krishna y cuál es la relación trascendental que tenemos con el Señor.
So Krishna consciousness is the last. When it comes to Krishna consciousness, there's nothing else left to be known. There's nothing else left for us to know. There's nothing left to be done. Only devotional service to Krishna.
Entonces, cuando llegamos a la conciencia de Krishna, ya no hay nada más que buscar, ya no hay nada más por saber, ya no hay más nada por conocer, más que el servicio devocional.
So Krishna taught us that Bhagavad Gita. And when you have gotten this knowledge, you will notice that there's nothing left for you to know. Nothing.
Podemos ver que Krishna explica esto en el Bhagavad Gita. Cuando tú obtienes este conocimiento del servicio devocional, no hay nada más por saber, absolutamente nada.
If we have Krishna, we don't need anything else. If we don't have Krishna, we have nothing.
Si tenemos a Krishna, no necesitamos de absolutamente nada. Si no tenemos a Krishna, no tenemos nada.
So Divya Mangal Thakura, saying Krishna Kanamrit. If I have your mercy, then there is nothing for anything else. And if I don't have your mercy, there is no need for anything else.
Entonces Bilva Mangala Thakura explica en su Krishna Karnamrita, si tengo tu misericordia, ¿de qué vale otra cosa? Y si no tengo tu misericordia, ¿de qué vale otra cosa?
If you have Krishna, we have everything. There's nothing to look for. If we don't have Krishna, we have nothing. We are zero.
Si tenemos a Krishna, no hay más nada por lo cual tengamos que encontrar o buscar. Si no tenemos a Krishna, no tenemos nada, cero.
When we meet a pure devotee of Krishna, you'll see that everything becomes meaningful.
Y cuando encontramos a un devoto de Krishna, un devoto puro de Krishna, podemos entender que todo, absolutamente todo, tiene un significado.
And then we notice that when one is very, very sincere, and that sincerity will make Krishna to show us the mercy. When we get the mercy, you will see the pure devotee, they have compassion. They have compassion, and they will reveal everything we need to know about Krishna.
Y cuando Krishna cuando seamos afortunados y Krishna sea misericordioso con nosotros, entonces un devoto puro nos va a mostrar todo lo que sea necesario para comprender y para poder ver, para poder ver y comprender todo.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Thank you so much for this beautiful class. We welcome devotees to raise their hand on Zoom in case they have any questions or comments. Alternately, you can also type out your question to us and we'll address them. We have the first question from Pranahari Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Nice to hear that. I'm so fortunate that, I was looking for this answer actually. Seriously, I was reading the verse number 8 canto, chapter number 3, verse number 26. The same thing what you have explained is there in the 8:3:26 actually. It is open in my Veda ways also. Especially that 8:3:26.
Okay.
8:3:26. Yes. The Gajendra prayers.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. So my question is basically like we also have this a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have this problem in the Papadia. Go to the Papadia. We have also this problem that we want to see, like, feel that. But when I read this,
Prabhuji,
yes. Okay.
Yeah, Papadia.
Yeah, is it?
Yes.
Right. Where is Krishna? Can you show me God? Yes, why not?
So Maharaj, you've given a very nice the answer for that. That we need to look for a spiritual master, and who can guide us.
Yes. Yes. Who has lost? Our network has gone down.
Yes, Srila Gurudev. The dear devotees, in case any of you have questions, you may raise your hand till Pranahari Prabhuji rejoins. Jagannivas Prabhuji, if you would want to translate some part of it, you may.
Yeah, okay. Entonces, Prabhu estaba diciendo que estaba leyendo el Srimad Bhagavatam, canto 8, capítulo 3, texto 26, y que justamente hablaba un poco acerca de lo que Gurudeva estuvo hablando recién. Voy a leerles el verso. Esta es la traducción por Srila Prabhupada. Dice: ahora, con el deseo de liberarme por completo de la vida material, ofrezco respetuosas reverencias a esa persona suprema, el creador del universo, que es en sí mismo la forma del universo y, no obstante, es trascendental a la manifestación cósmica. Él es el conocedor supremo de todo lo que existe en el mundo, la superalma del universo. Él es el Señor innaciente y supremo. A Él ofrezco mis respetuosas reverencias. Y en el significado, Srila Prabhupada dice: a veces cuando les predicamos acerca del proceso de Bhakti Yoga, conciencia de Krishna, la gente común argumenta: ¿Krishna? ¿Dios? ¿Dónde está? ¿Nos los puede mostrar? La respuesta que se da en este verso es que si tenemos suficiente inteligencia, debemos saber que si existe alguien que ha creado toda la manifestación cósmica, aportando sus componentes y transformándose en ellos, alguien que existe eternamente, pero que no está dentro de la manifestación cósmica. Partiendo de esta idea, podemos ofrecer respetuosas reverencias al Señor Supremo. Ese es el comienzo de la vida devocional.
Srila Gurudev, we are having Jayananda Prabhu till Pranahari Prabhuji joins. We request Prabhuji to kindly unmute.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances as a dear of your sweet Guru Maharaj.
Thank you.
Guru Maharaj, you mentioned during the course of your discussion that when one is very, very fortunate that he can meet a pure devotee, and you substantiated by quotation from Guna Bhagyavan Jiva, after wandering in so many universes, we have come across a pure devotee. So the question is, when we have, before meeting him, our fortune was very great. Now, upon meeting him, logically, our fortune should have increased. But we see that very often, after meeting the pure devotee, we stop associating from him or stop following his instruction. So what is the cause of our fortune goes down, that we cannot associate with a pure devotee?
Entonces Prabhu está haciendo una pregunta en referencia a lo que Gurudeva estaba hablando. En un momento Gurudeva, él explicó de que Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explica en el Chaitanya Charitamrita, hay un verso que habla que estamos transitando de planeta en planeta hasta que nuestra fortuna, nuestra buena fortuna sucede de encontrarnos con un devoto puro del Señor. Entonces él pregunta de que muchas veces uno se encuentra con un devoto puro del Señor, pero luego esa gran fortuna decrece, ya que no seguimos las instrucciones o dejamos de asociarnos con esa persona o dejamos el proceso. ¿Por qué sucede eso?
Yes, some of us very, very fortunate to come in contact with the pure devotee.
Entonces, sí, muchos de nosotros somos muy, muy, muy afortunados de entrar en contacto con un devoto puro del Señor.
Although we have cried seriously for God's mercy, God has responded by giving us the association of a pure devotee.
Y a pesar de que sí hemos llorado mucho para obtener la misericordia del Señor, y Él ha respondido al enviarnos un devoto puro.
We should not think that, okay, now I'm met with the pure devotee, so my problem, now everything is finished. So I can do whatever I want now.
Entonces no debemos pensar de que, okay, mis plegarias han sido respondidas, he encontrado al devoto puro del Señor, entonces ya está, ya no hay más nada por hacer.
No. Now is a beginning of our journey back to Godhead.
No, ahora es el comienzo de nuestro viaje de vuelta a Dios, de vuelta al hogar.
Just like if one is I've searched for admission in a college or I'm admitted in a college.
Así como uno quiere entrar a la universidad, quiere tratar de hacer lo posible para entrar a la universidad.
One does not become a graduate yet. Not a graduate yet.
Uno no es un graduado por entrar a la universidad.
Now you have to spend your time to study.
Ahora tú tienes que pasar el tiempo estudiando en la universidad.
You don't study, say, yeah, I'm not a student, so I'm okay now. You will not pass the exam because you're not studying.
Si ahora piensas de que, bueno, ya entré en la universidad, ahora soy un universitario, no. Sin estudiar uno no va a pasar los exámenes.
Similarly, we have cried for costless mercy of Krishna, and Krishna listened to us and has given us a pure devotee. Now we have to start working.
Entonces hemos llorado y Krishna ha respondido a nuestras plegarias y nos ha enviado un devoto puro del Señor. Entonces es ahora cuando tenemos que empezar a trabajar.
So Srila Prabhupada told us, initiation means beginning. It doesn't mean the end. It's the beginning.
Entonces Srila Prabhupada nos dijo, cuando uno toma iniciación es el comienzo, no es el final, es solamente el comienzo.
When we say initial means the beginning. You are just beginning something. This is initial stage. Yeah? That's what we say. Initial stage, initial beginning. So we're just beginning. So initiation is the beginning of our journey back to Godhead. It is not the end.
Entonces, iniciar significa que está al comienzo, cuando uno está comenzando algo. Entonces, iniciación significa que uno está al comienzo de algo, no es el final. Uno está comenzando la vida espiritual desde ese punto.
Many of us are thinking like that. Now I have become a devotee. Now I'm initiated. Now I have got a big position. Now I'm very famous. Now I'm very, very popular. Now I have big money. Now I have wife. I have husband. Now I have position. So I have everything now. So, Jai, thank you, Gurudev. My situation is secure. You have not started yet.
Entonces uno encuentra a los devotos y piensa, bueno, ya está, uno se inicia y dice, bueno, ya está, uno toma iniciación, tiene un puesto, tiene un servicio fijo, se vuelve famoso, se vuelve poderoso, tiene mucho dinero, o obtiene una esposa, sus hijos, y uno piensa, ok, Gurudev, muchas gracias, ya está. Entonces Gurudev se comenzó a reír. No, eso es solo el comienzo.
Most of us are making this mistake.
Muchos de nosotros estamos cometiendo un gran error.
So it's a mistake that should be corrected.
Entonces es un error que tiene que ser corregido.
Let us start to practice, take full advantage of what has been given to us.
Hay que empezar a practicar y tomar ventaja de lo que se nos ha dado.
It's like someone is very hungry. Someone is very hungry.
Entonces es como cuando alguien tiene mucha hambre.
And someone is taking pity and providing a food for us.
Entonces hay alguien que siente algo de lástima y está proveyendo comida para que nos trae algo para comer.
You don't have to tell the patient to come and put the food in their mouth. Now you have to eat it.
No tienes que decirle a la persona, bueno, ahora ponlo en mi boca. No, uno tiene que empezar a comerlo.
So now the fortune has been created for us. So we have to take advantage of that and practice as being guided by the bona fide spiritual master.
Entonces la buena fortuna ha surgido y debemos tomar ventaja de eso. Y debemos tomar refugio y instrucciones de un maestro espiritual fidedigno.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Shila Gurudev. I have a question. Shila Gurudev, we were seeing in this last slide wherein Param Gurudev mentions that I embraced him and noticed that he was in tears too, and his sincerity brought tears to my eyes. And we see here that the pure devotee felt the desperation in the person searching for the Lord. So that is when he feels great compassion and gives him instruction. So in our lives also, when there are some setbacks or challenges, we cry desperately and we pray, and but we cannot maintain this mood always. So how do we maintain this mood of desperation always?
Entonces, Mataji está preguntando aquí, Maharaj en algún momento, él explica que cuando se encontró con el devoto puro, su sinceridad trajo lágrimas a los ojos de Maharaj. Él lo abrazó y noté que él también estaba llorando. Él sintió mi desesperación por querer conocer a Dios y yo sentí su gran compasión. Entonces, muchas veces, bajo ciertas circunstancias, lloramos desesperadamente y sentimos la compasión del maestro espiritual. Pero luego no siempre estamos en esa conciencia, en ese estado. ¿Cómo podemos hacer para mantenernos con esa conciencia?
Well, it has to do with our previous life.
Tiene que ver con nuestra vida previa.
You see some devotees, as soon as they come to Krishna consciousness, they just continue and continue and continue like that. Like his Holiness Bhakti Maharaj. Yesterday, some disciples were asking me what qualities I saw in Gurudev, which is very, 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 very
prominent,
very encouraging. And I mentioned to them, enthusiasm is one quality I saw with Gurudev from beginning to the end. It never goes down in this enthusiasm, never, since I knew him from beginning to the end. Very enthusiastic. And his enthusiasm continues. It doesn't go down. It's always there. And it keeps increasing.
Entonces, Gurudev estaba hablando de que había unos devotos, discípulos de Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, que le hicieron una pregunta y le preguntaron cuáles eran las características más sobresalientes o sí, que podía ver en Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Y Gurudev respondió que el entusiasmo. Hay devotos que llegan a la conciencia de Krishna y debido a su vida pasada comienzan el proceso de conciencia de Krishna y siguen avanzando, no paran. Y el entusiasmo fue algo que vi en Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj que nunca decreció, siempre estaba entusiasta y su entusiasmo continuaba creciendo en todo momento.
And you see some devotees, they are dragging on. Everything is dragging. Everything is dragging. Hearing is dragging. Everything is very dragging. Everything. And some devotees see that everything is for them is like they are always burning. For some people, just relax. It is their previous practice. It's a result of their previous background.
Entonces, he visto que hay devotos cuando llegan a la conciencia de Krishna y todo es como una constante lucha, están ahí intentando constantemente con escuchar, todo les resulta muy tedioso o les resulta muy complicado tener que escuchar clases, tener que hacer servicio y todo es complicado. Y hay otros devotos que enseguida enganchan el proceso y continúan. Entonces, eso se debe, y están en el fuego constante. Eso se debe a la práctica que han realizado en sus vidas anteriores.
You see, some devotees, they have very little difficulties. They will start practicing. Oh, it's going like this. Oh, this devotee like that. Oh, this one like that. Some people, they would never see anything. Only Krishna, the after. Whatever happened, they don't see. They're just focused. They're just fixed in their Krishna consciousness.
Podemos ver que hay devotos que un pequeño problemita aquí y allá y ya dejan de practicar la conciencia de Krishna. Y hay otros devotos que a pesar de miles de problemas, ellos no ven nada. Ellos están enfocados en Krishna y solo existe Krishna.
Look at Hanumanji.
Por ejemplo, Hanumanji.
Ask Hanuman, what is today? He doesn't know.
Por ejemplo, pregúntale a Hanuman, ¿qué día es hoy? Él no sabe.
What does Hanuman knows?
¿Qué es lo que Hanuman sabe?
Only Ramchandra.
Solo el señor Ramachandra.
He doesn't know anything. Only Ramchandra he knows.
Él no sabe absolutamente nada. Solo el señor Ramachandra.
You see, all of you Hare Krishna devotees, look at their altar. They have Gauranitai, Radha Syamasundar, they have Silal, they have Jagannath. Hanuman, only one deity, Sitaram, nothing. He doesn't know anything, nothing, zero. Ram, Sitaram, that's all for Hanuman.
Miren los devotos de Krishna. Ustedes tienen Radha Syamasundar, Gauranitai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Shilas, pero Hanuman solo tenía una sola deidad, Sitaram, una sola deidad. Él estaba completamente enfocado.
Hanuman, if you like, call Krishna to his ear, he will wipe you away from his place.
Y si tú estuvieras con Hanuman y le dices Krishna en el oído, Hanuman te echaría de un manotazo, te sacaría de ese lugar donde está él.
If you say Ram, he will impress you. He will impress you. Right.
Y si dices Ram, entonces él vendría y te daría un abrazo bien fuerte, bien fuerte.
If you tell him Krishna, he will kick you away from his place.
Y si tú dices Krishna, te sacaría de una patada de donde está.
He did that to Garuda.
Él hizo eso con Garuda.
He doesn't know anything, only Ramchandra Bhagavan. That is devotion. That is Hanumanji.
Ese es Hanuman, esa es su devoción al señor Ramachandra.
The nature of worship, a form of God worship, a worshipper, upasaka. Hanuman is a great devotee whose devotion is never hampered.
Entonces,
Hanuman devotion, Hanuman has uninterrupted devotional service, uninterrupted bhakti, uninterrupted devotional service for Ramchandra.
Hanuman tiene una devoción ininterrumpida por el señor Ramachandra.
Many of us, our devotional service is hampered. If you hear something from somebody, we are disturbed. If somebody do something, we are disturbed. But Hanuman, never, nothing. Hanuman doesn't see, he doesn't hear, he doesn't do anything. Only Ram he sees, only Ram he hears, and only Ram devotion he performs.
Entonces, muchos de nosotros cuando escuchamos algo, nuestra devoción se ve afectada, pero Hanuman su devoción no se ve afectada por nada, es completamente firme, él está completamente dedicado en su devoción al Señor.
The Pandavas, their devotion for Krishna, they never deviate from Krishna consciousness. Why? Because they are fixed in their Krishna consciousness, in their devotional service. Fixed. Because they are fixed in their Krishna consciousness, they can never be deviated. Nothing can distract their attention from Krishna consciousness.
Por ejemplo, los Pándavas, su devoción por Krishna estaba tan fija que nada podía desviar, que nada podía hacer que su devoción por el Señor sea disminuida. No había nada que pudiera distraer su devoción por Krishna.
How do we get to that stage?
¿Cómo es que llegamos a ese estado?
As you say, we're devotees who are on that platform.
Hay que asociarse con devotos que están en esa plataforma.
When Guru tells us do this, let us do it.
Cuando el Guru te dice, haz esto, entonces tan solo hazlo.
If Guru tells us do this, we must do it.
Si el Guru dice, haz esto, entonces solo debemos hacerlo.
That is how we will be blessed and promoted to that stage.
Así es como vamos a ser bendecidos y promocionados a ese estado.
All right?
Okay.
Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev. It answers my question. And we're very grateful to you, all of us here, that we've met a very pure devotee of Lord, and we pray to your lotus feet that we be able to take your association very seriously and very sincerely. And on that note, we would be ending our class for today over here, Srila Gurudev, and we wish you a very happy and blessed Lord Ramchandra's appearance day, Gurudev.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Damodara Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Itai Gaura Premanande.
Hari Hari Bo.
Gaura Hari Bo.